What is up, everybody? It's your boy Duty back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's finances in our weekly series we call the DSP Gaming/React Channel Business Audit. Yes, that's right, folks. We're going to be taking a look at how our boy Phil and the business did this past week. We're going to take a look at his tips, his super chats for the week, compare it to the previous week, and then we'll do also a breakdown of where he is year over year. So let's get into it. So first of all, the streaming week was a little bit longer than usual, so I kind of had to adjust my 2022 days where I did a comparison so we can kind of get an equal comparison here. So when you look at 22 numbers, you're going to see the days off are a little bit off. For example, Phil's streaming week ended on the 14th in 2023, and then in 2022 it ended on the 13th. So I included the 615 tips and super chats to kind of even it out. Anyway, so for the week of for his last streaming week, which started on 6/8 and ended on 6/14, he actually streamed for 7 straight days. Hard work week for our boy DSP. And Phil managed to pull in $1,219 in tips, and that's for 7 days. Super chat, he did okay. He pulled in $636 for super chats for a grand total of $1,855. So if we do a quick look at what Phil did the previous week, there was a drop in support, especially around tips. So last week he ended up making about $2,345 in tips. Of course, $1,000, almost $1,100 was straight from Jack Rackster, who whaled out for DSP. Now, for this week, Phil had a little mini whale, but it wasn't Jack Rackster level. It was GameTrekker. GameTrekker actually supported the Street Fighter playthrough. He was probably the only one. If it wasn't for him, Phil's tips would have been very low. Now, I didn't get an actual figure on what GameTrekker tipped, but he averaged about $60 a day. He was doing about 2 $30 tips or one $30 tip, and then a couple $5 tips. So it averaged out to, I'm gonna say, about $60 a day. So yeah, he tipped Phil a little bit over $400 for last week. I don't have the actual hard numbers. I just know that looking at the streams and looking at the first tip, which was always Jack Rackster, which was GameTrekker. They came in the night before or whatever, and then Phil read them out. And of course, GameTrekker. All he wanted to do was provide DSP with tips on how to not suck at Street Fighter, and that did not help. So if you take away the nearly $400 in tips that GameTrekker provided, Phil would have had a very, very bad week. We're looking at almost $800 in tips, taking away what GameTrekker supplied. So anyway, the M.V.D, which is a new segment I'm doing, the most valuable den of the week, goes to, of course, GameTrekker. Good job, GameTrekker. Good job wasting your money on on stupidity. Alrighty, folks, so that's the weekly total. So now let's take a look at what our boy DSP has done for the year of 2023. So far he's going into his 6th month of streaming for the year, and if we look at his grand total for the year so far, he's pulled in $28,172 for the year so far. And if you compare that to last year, he pulled in $30,687. So he's closing the gap. He's a little under 10%. So he's at 9.2% off his 2022 mark for tips. So Street Fighter has helped him out. That $1,000 tip from last week really kind of helped tighten those numbers up. Before Street Fighter, before, he's been doing okay. I'm gonna say probably for the month of May and June he's done pretty good. So it's really helped him. I mean, he was about 20% off of his 2022 income before May. So it was pretty bad. So he is closing the gap. So for super chats for 2023, he's brought in $10,792. And then last year for the same time period, he pulled in $12,765 for that same time period. And he is off by 15.5%. So, you know, that he's closing that gap there. That was in the 20% as well. So, yeah, May and June have been pretty good for Phil. I don't know how long he's going to keep, you know, pulling in that kind of support, especially now with Street Fighter kind of dying off. The initial, you know, the initial jolt of Street Fighter is kind of dying off. And then Diablo's not doing good, and Zelda is pretty much soon to be sent to ban world. So if we compare his year-over-year super chats and tips, for 2023, he pulled in $38,964 so far. And you compare that to last year, he pulled in $43,452. So he is off by 12.35% year over year. So yeah, I mean, it's getting better, but I mean, I don't know what Phil's gonna do for the summer, especially there's not really much out there for the summer coming out. He's gonna have to have more special events, maybe one a week, to try to help him recoup some of that money. Yet again, another disclaimer, this is simply just his tips and his super chats. I'm not including memberships, I'm not including ad revenue. This is simply just tips and super chats. Yeah, so it should be interesting for this upcoming week when he comes back tomorrow, and then going forward. I think the tips are going to dry up, and we may get another, you know, begment from Phil sooner rather than later. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.